Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the equation of the locus of the midpoint M of all chords PQ, where P is that, Q is that, and it's on this parabola, and it also goes through 0 to A. So I've just drawn a little diagram which represents that. Whenever I see chords PQ, which sit on the parabola, let's write down the general form of it. So you're looking for, so Y minus a half, what is it, P plus Q X plus APQ equals 0. So I'll probably end up using that at some stage. Now we know it goes through the point 0, 2A, so that means that point there I can substitute into here. So what that means is I get 2A, x is 0, so that all disappears, plus APQ equals 0, APQ equals 2A, that's a negative, and divide both sides by A, I get PQ equals minus 2. Now that's a really important thing to get out at some stage, especially these midpoint ones you'll see later on when I do a few more. Okay, so let's actually now work out, get some expressions for the midpoint M. This, now I don't know where M is, it could be over here, it could be here, it sort of depends on the line, so M could be there, but you know how to find the midpoint. It's the average of the x's and average of the y's, so I'm going to write it like this. So x equals, the average of the x's is 2AP plus 2AQ on 2, and the average of the y's is AP squared plus AQ squared on 2. Now somehow I need to combine these two things together to get an equation just in x and y. And this is what I can do. So these twos can all cancel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a factor of a out and divide both sides by it. So I'll get x on a equals p plus q. This part over here, I'm going to take a factor of a out, I'm going to write it as p squared plus q squared on 2. Now, if I had a p plus q in here, I could substitute that in, but I don't. Oops, that's a square there, that's not there. But I know how to write p squared plus q squared in a slightly different way. So this is a little trick you can do. You go a outside of, so it's going to be p plus q all squared minus 2pq all over 2. Actually, what I'll do is I'll bring that 2 over here, so that one's not there. So if you expand that, you get p squared plus q squared plus 2pq, but if I subtract 2pq, I'm just left with that part there. Now look at this p plus q here, I'm going to replace with this x on a, and this pq here, I'm going to replace with that part there. So what I get is I get 2a equals a, p plus q is x on a, so that's x on a all squared, minus, now 2 times pq, that's a minus 2, so minus 2 times minus 2 is a plus 4. Now a little bit of tinkering, we get 2y equals x squared. Now that x squared on a squared times a gives you x squared on a plus a 4a, that's just expanding that. Multiply it all by a, I get 2ay equals x squared plus 4a squared. Just getting it in a parabola form, because I know it's going to be a parabola. We get x squared equals 2ay minus 4a squared, and just factoring out a 2a, so I can get the y by itself. We get that. So that's an equation of the locus of the midpoint of all chords PQ, blah, blah, blah. Now, if there was another part of this question which said something like, what's the vertex? The vertex is going to be 0, 2a. This part here helps us find the focal length, which is a. But I've got another question I'm going to do shortly which will help you do that.